Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for Thursday, June 14th, 2018. I'm Fredicia Liebert. Today, Thursday, June 14th, Joseph Belgrave of Spring Hill, Nevis was the proud recipient of a new home thanks to the Ministry of Social Development. Minister of Social Development, the Honorable Eric Evelyn, noted that his ministry has been doing a tremendous job providing homes for vulnerable persons in society, and he thanked his cabinet colleagues for their assistance. Minister Evelyn encouraged the homeowner to take good care of his home.
I also want to pay homage to two of my cabinet colleagues, the Honorable Hazel Brandy Williams, under who this process would have started, and of course the Honorable Alexis Jeffers as well, who would have been instrumental in providing the land as well. So I want to say a very hearty thank you to those cabinet members, and I want to say to Mr. Belgrave that we are happy to be doing this for you, and you must do your part. We are partnering with you, and we want you to take care of this property. Of course, we know that here in Nevis, nothing is cheap now. Everything costs a lot of money. And we are happy that, of course, you would have seen it fit to assist in the construction of the property. And, of course, since you would have assisted in the construction of the property, you should take extra pride and extra care of the property. And so we are expecting that in the next many years, that the property will still be in very good condition.
Evelyn also thanked the contractor Kenneth Ferguson and his team for what he said was a job well done and handed over the keys to the new homeowner. Joseph Belgrave accepted the keys with gratitude.
I say thank to God Almighty who make sure this thing could happen. Thanks for the company and everyone. Thanks.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Social Development, Keith Glasgow, took time out to say a special thank you to the Belgrave's neighbors for their assistance in the construction of his house.
We have always had to pay the neighbors to use their water and electricity to build the houses for our social protection clients. In this case, the neighbors were quite willing to give their electricity and water free of cost.
The construction of the home began in November of 2017. Meantime, the Ministry of Social Development, in keeping with the Sustainable Development Goal of eradicating poverty, presented another home today, this time to Lorraine Cassandra Phillip in Fountain Village.
I know Cassandra for a very long time. She's a live wire, and I know that she's extra happy that we are here this morning to hand over the keys to her. I would tell her, as I would have said previously to the previous owner, that we want you to take very good care of your property.
Oh, yes.
It is a lovely property, and as Miss Movin would have indicated, constructing such dwelling place is costly. And it, of course, is costing the Department of Social Services, the Ministry of Social Development. But, of course, as I said, we are here to ensure that we continue to improve the lives of all who live on the island of Nevis. And Cassandra is one such person, and we are so delighted that we can do this for you, and we are so delighted that we can improve your standard of living.
Minister Evelyn handed over the keys to the grateful Lorraine Cassandra Phillip, who expressed appreciation on behalf of herself and her spouse.
Thanks the Minister of Social Welfare for helping me along my journey, and I wish God will bless you all, and thank you.
The Social Development Minister also thanked the Honorable Hazel Brandy Williams and the Honorable Alexis Jeffers for their assistance. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Social Development, Keith Glasgow, expressed gratitude to the Jeffers family of Fountain Village for allowing the ministry to construct a home on their property for the couple. The blessing of both houses were done by Pastor Ron Daniel. Also present at the brief ceremonies were Deputy Director of Social Services, Joyce Movin, and Administrative Secretary in the Ministry of Social Development, Shelley Liebert. 4 of the island's youth parliamentarians will represent the Nevis branch of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, CPA, at the 14th Regional Youth Parliament. The debate will be one of the featured activities during the 43rd CPA Regional Conference of the Caribbean, Americas and Atlantic region from June 15th to 23rd in the Cayman Islands. Celestial Hanley and Lauren Lawrence of the Charlestown Secondary School, Raul J. Williams of the Nevis Sixth Form College, and Charlene Myers of the Gingerland Secondary School will participate in the 14th Regional Youth Parliament.
They were selected from the batch of 32 students who participated in the local branch youth parliament sitting, which was held last month. Whereas Britain has decided to, or England has decided to pull away from the rest of the European region, what effect it has on the regional Community Parliamentary Association. And you could look at the financial, the trade, and other aspects, security aspects, that it would be involved. And that is what the youth parliamentarians would be dealing with in their resolution. The benefits are twofold. One, they are able to discuss among their peers within the region. And two, they are able to understand the workings of Parliament in a better light than we have here in Nevis.
President of the Nevis Island Assembly, the Honorable Farrell Smithen, also called on the public's support.
We do get a stipend from government to assist with some of the cost, as well as private corporations, private entities have come forward and have given us some funds in order to defray cost for putting up the students as well as the EFA. And I want to take the opportunity at this time to thank all those who have in any way give up to ensure that the children are able to participate and do well. And to also encourage the corporate citizens to give of their best in terms of funding so that the students could feel comfortable and be happy to represent their country and to come back with glowing reports of their work there in Cayman Islands.
The Honorable Farrell Smithen, along with Clerk of the Nevis Island Assembly, Myra Williams, and CSS teacher Yuta Taylor, who will act as chaperone for the students, will represent the Nevis branch of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association at the 43rd Regional Conference of the Caribbean, Americas, and Atlantic region. Still to come.
Thank you very much, St. Kitts and Nevis, for welcoming us to your country.
The details after this break. Welcome back. Soldiers who recently participated in Phase 1 of Tradewinds 2018 here in St. Kitts and Nevis were this week expressing their appreciation to the Federation through several community service initiatives. We caught up with members of the U.S. Army and the Guyana Defense Force at the Combermere Health Center.
We just finished up the Tradewinds 2018 multi-nation Caribbean nation training event. And today we're just giving back to the community.
I'm Mr. Blair, head of the Guyana contingent. Well, basically over the past 10 days or so, we have conducted training, jointly a synchronized training that is, with several countries from around the world. And it's been a pleasure training and learning a lot. My guys did great, the other guys did great. And we're all here today giving back to the community for hosting us for the past few weeks. Thanks for having us here. And we really appreciate your hospitality over the past 2 days.
Junior Minister of Health, the Honorable Hazel Brandy Williams, accompanied by Permanent Secretary Nicole Slack-Liberd and Health Planner Shalissa Martin Clark, were visiting the site at the time.
They are giving the Combermere Health Center a facelift one that was much needed, and I am saying that at this point, from what I see, it would really add something to the outward decor of this community center. And so on behalf of the Ministry of Health and by extension the Nevis Island administration, I would like to say thank you, a heartfelt thank you to the team of persons who would have been here first to share with our personnel in terms of executing and imparting knowledge, and then partaking in this community, this worthwhile community project. We are indeed grateful for your assistance. We are thankful for your help today. And so we look forward to seeing you in the ensuing years when that Nevis's time would roll around again. We look forward for your continued support and your continued assistance to us.
Meantime, in a similar gesture, another group of soldiers, including members of the Barbados Regiment Reserves and Special Operations Company, showed their goodwill and support to the Nevis Historical and Conservation Society.
We're happy to do it. It's the least we could do. You guys have shown us such a good time here. We like helping out. We like taking care of our neighbors.
Thank you very much, St. Kitts and Nevis, for welcoming us to your country, for the hospitality. The food is fantastic. You guys are amazing cooks. This definitely won't be my last time. Even if I don't come back with a unit, I'll be coming back on my own for a vacation. I have met some amazing people here. The hospitality is fantastic, and I'm a sucker for good service wherever I go. So the hospitality in St. Kitts and even here in Nevis, as soon as I disembarked the boat, it was amazing. So thank you St. Kitts and Nevis for having us. Thank you so much.
Tradewinds is a Caribbean-focused training exercise designed to help participants better respond to natural disasters as well as land and maritime threats. And finally,
and we're here to give prizes to our winners from the recently culminated Sustainable Development Goals SMART contest.
On Wednesday, June 13th, the Caribbean Sustainable Environmental Awareness Organization presented prizes to the winners of its SMART contest during a brief ceremony at the Alexander Hamilton Museum grounds.
And this was a contest that featured both visual and performing arts, which gave local artists the opportunity to showcase their talent and in the process win some money. Our first place winner in the visual arts category, Mr. Vance Anslin, and he is a seasoned artist from Nevis.
My piece was inspired by world hunger and focusing on world hunger. My piece basically had two individuals. One was a small, young, you could say white or Hispanic, depending on what you see that person as, eating bread from off the street. And then there was another much larger but a more imposing figure of a younger black boy, which was in the background, and he was just dead staring with tears coming down his face. And that showed that, he was basically emotionless, wondering what next. And I think on a whole, it sent a message as, what do we do from here? Where do we go from here, and how can we solve this problem? Because in the background I had light coming down on the back of both of their faces, showing that I'm trying to shed some light on the situation itself.
I'm just going to mention two of our other visual arts winners who could not be here today, but they are second place Sonia Watts and third place Kiana Williams. And now we'll move on to our performing art category. Our third place winner, and her goal, she chose education, Miss Kayla Claxton. I'm going to call our second place winner, Mr. Kareem Herbert, who did a song rendition. And our grand prize winner with a very impressive piece, a spoken word piece, Mr. James Galloway.
My piece was entitled Not Hard to See. It basically personified a plastic bottle and its journey from being used to, and arriving at the coast, basically. The inspiration for it is that I wanted to do something that was very simple but effective, and that would shed light on a problem that we have and really give a solution, which is not littering, which is something that we can all engage in.
The Caribbean Sustainable Environmental Awareness Organization is an NGO which aims to promote the sustainable use of the natural resources in St. Kitts and Nevis. That's how we end this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Fredicia Liebert. Thank you for viewing.